measure our lifespans by the number of times we revolve around the sun. But regardless of how old we are, we eventually all arrive at the winter of our lives.
Grandma really enjoyed being outside. With hospice care, she was able to go for a walk right up till the time she passed.
In 2010, my mom was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, and they gave her 4 to 6 months to live. So we immediately started looking into, what she wanted for her last months, and we decided to do hospice care. She wanted to die at home. She wanted to die with all the family around her. She was very apprehensive about leaving my father alone because she had always looked after him. And I think that having the whole family there made it easier for her to go, because she knew that we would be taking care of him as well. We sat around her bed, we told stories, we held her hand, we played her favorite music. The hospice nurse came, and every time we needed her, she was available either to come out or by phone. She was really wonderful. She became like part of the family. And it was just a very wonderful experience. It was like they have celebrations of life now after people pass, but this was like a celebration of her life before she went.
Many people misunderstand hospice. They hear about it at the same time as they receive their prognosis, so they associate hospice with dying, when in fact, hospice is about living. It's about being comfortable and making the time you do have count. Hello, and welcome to Hospice, sacred care for a sacred time. As you've just seen, hospice is about living. Hospice focuses on achieving the best quality of life possible with whatever time you have remaining. You are still here right now, and you do have time, so we want to help you make the most of every moment. Our goal with hospice care is to make the final stages of your life as beautiful, comfortable, and spiritually fulfilling as you desire. We believe this time is sacred, and that you should have the opportunity to use your time the way you wish, and that you and your family should remain in control. We cannot cure you, but we can facilitate a beautiful transition for you and your family. We will bring you the resources you need to live your life at home so you can be with your family and friends. And we will create for you, as best we can, the environment you want for your comfort at this time. Think of us as your personal care team, because we are.
Hospice asks you, where would you like to be? What do you need to be comfortable? Who would you like to see? And most importantly, what would you like to do with your time?
After we got the diagnosis, it felt like the end. But hospice changed that. Instead of focusing on the diagnosis, hospice helped enable that special trip to happen. Hospice helped us to live.
Peace of mind and comfort are not only physical, they can also be emotional and they can be spiritual. So a patient always gets a social worker as part of your team. We social workers are trained counselors. We'll let you know what to expect and be there for you and your family when you need us. We will also help you find the spiritual counsel you need and would like to have. At your request, we will coordinate visits with a chaplain who can talk with you about what your beliefs and needs are. And it's okay if your belief is different than the chaplain's. All are valued, and we will provide you with what you need. In addition to providing you with counsel and care, We also have many volunteers available to help you and your family. The volunteer services available to you through Peace Health are some of the best in the country and offer a wide range, including respite care, vigil volunteers, courier services, nurturing modalities such as Reiki and therapeutic touch, and volunteers who provide company and assistance with pet care.
Volunteers do a lot of different things for hospice families. We certainly are there for the patient's safety. We're there to give respite to the caregivers. We're there to take dogs for walks. We're there to make small meals. We do light housekeeping. We play card games. One time I took a patient out, believe it or not, in a kayak because the patient really wanted to do that. We got permission from the nurse and off we went. So it's surprising how many different things volunteers do with patients. One of the biggest misconceptions about hospice is that people think it's for the last few days of life. Hospice is not for the last few days of life. It certainly takes care of people at that point, but it works best when people are on service for at least a couple of months and hopefully longer.
Hospice came in and instantly things got better. They took care of everything. They brought in medicines, they brought in a portable bed, they brought in a wheelchair, things we would have never thought of. Thank you, Hospice.
One of the most beautiful gifts that hospice can give you is environment. We believe that this sacred moment should take place where you want it to. So we will work with you and your family to make sure that you are surrounded by the environment that brings you peace of mind. Sometimes this is as simple as being in a sunlit room surrounded by plants, or perhaps you would like to be outside. Many find that music is soothing and request a visit from one of our music thanatologists. Let us know your request and we'll do our best to fulfill it.
When you call hospice, a registered nurse and a medical social worker will come and meet with you and your family. In this meeting, many things will be discussed, from environmental concerns to medications and equipment. We'll talk about what you would like to do with your time, what things would be helpful to have assistance with, what care you might need for your pet or children, and what type of spiritual requests you have. Then, a registered nurse, case manager, will begin to coordinate this care with the members of your team. Medical supplies and equipment will be brought to you. You will be assigned a team of caregivers committed to providing physical, emotional, and spiritual comfort. We will also provide you with assistants who will help with chores, errands, and food preparation. And if you have an interest in any of our volunteer programs, like Pet Peace of Mind, we will help coordinate those and put them into place for you.
When you agree to let hospice into your home, you brought in more than a team of workers. You bring in a team of people who truly care about you and your family. All of you are important to us, and we know that this process, this unavoidable change in life, doesn't end when you die. Sometimes that is just the beginning. So hospice doesn't leave when you die. Hospice continues for your family. On the day you die, we will help them make the phone calls and plan the arrangements if they request. Or if they want us to leave, we will do that too.
This is a sacred time. It's not every day you get to be there when a loved one passes, and not everyone has the gift of knowing or the chance of making amends or even be able to choose how they wish to die. But hospice helps to make this happen.
Whether you are ready when the moment happens or you're not, the empty space left by your loved one will likely be consuming. You may be in shock, or if your loved one was in pain, you may feel relief. You might just feel empty. Even if you don't yet know how you feel, it's okay. Hospice continues. Just know that we're still here for you. For the next 13 months, we are here as you need us to offer support and counsel.
After Mom died, it was confusing. Each day I didn't know how to start my day. Sometimes there was busy days with a lot to do, and sometimes there were just those lonely days. And then Hospice stepped in, and they seemed to know. They sent over bereavement people, and at first they were just present to me and there and listening, and then they would offer advice about what might get me through one hurdle over another and soften the hard times a little bit. And they didn't push me, but they were there. Many of my friends had moved on, and they had their own lives and their own things to go through, but Hospice stayed with me, and I soon joined a support group, and I found that there were other people going through the same things and having the same kind of feelings that I was having.
We provide quarterly mailings during the first year of bereavement, and we also have support groups, and we can also link you with other community supports.
We're a really great resource for anybody in the community who's grieving. Grief is a heavy burden. It can easily consume us, body and soul. This is very natural. Feelings of guilt, a multitude of emotions, missed opportunities, and unanswered questions. Our bereavement support groups offer a safe, confidential place to process your thoughts and share your experiences. So please remember that these groups are available to you when you are ready. Just let us know, and we will help you find the one that is right for you.
Music Thanatology offers a gift. It offers support to one of the most marginalized populations in our culture today, the dying. I play this music because it offers a bridge, a place of quietude for the dying. Music, some say, is the language of the soul, and I hope that my music allows the family to soften, to let go for a while, and to float on the notes. That it helps them connect more with energy than with form. Music also helps one to feel and to cry, and sometimes that is what's most needed.
Accepting a terminal diagnosis is not an easy thing to do, especially when it's your child. Feelings of anger and resentment can be consuming, along with the grief, almost impossible. It always feels unfair when a young soul has to leave before they have had the experience of life. Our Little Stars program was designed to help children and their families understand, accept, and cope with having a terminal diagnosis. The goal of Little Stars is to help these children achieve the highest quality of life they can while remaining at home with their families. We offer medical care, emotional and spiritual counsel, and volunteers to help your family and your child live confidently with courage and optimism. Our services include a palliative care nurse available to you 24 hours a day, assistance with pain relief, and end-of-life comfort care, and ongoing education and support to help you and your family understand what to expect. We will also help you with communication, so you can have an open and honest dialogue with your child. Some of these are Courageous Kids, Bereavement Bears, and parent support groups. Please let us know if you're interested in any of these programs, and we will facilitate them for you.
We provide services for children and families. The children's ages are 6 to 18. When a loved one dies in a family, the caregivers are very protective about the children and therefore don't want to bring up the subject. And the children, whether they're 5 or 15, feel the same way about the surviving family members, and they don't want to bring up any of their thoughts and feelings that might be concerning to the adults. So it makes for a very lonely and isolated experience. At Courageous Kids, we provide a space where the children meet other children who are also going through similar experiences. They don't have to worry about whether they're hurting somebody's feelings or whether they're making somebody cry, and their own thoughts and feelings get validated. People usually have ideas, assumptions about grief, what appropriate grief looks like, how long it should take or shouldn't take. And here at Courageous Kids, we support everybody in their own very unique individual process, regardless of what it looks like, regardless of how long it takes.
Sometimes our closest companion is our beloved pet. They accept us for who we are, they pass no judgment, and they provide us with a depth of love that only an animal can give. This is a sacred bond that we honor and respect. It's quite possible that when you are in hospice, your relationship with your pet will change. You might not be able to walk them, or play with them, or even feed them, but having them nearby is vital. We know how important it is for you to be close and how healing it can be, so we do our best to help you and your pet stay together. Pet Peace of Mind is a program designed to assist with the expenses related to your pet's needs. In addition, our team of volunteers will help with trips to the vet and walking your dog. This is not a time to be without one of your closest companions, and we will do whatever we can to keep you together as long as possible. Please call us today and let us know how we can help. The volunteer services at Sacred Heart Hospice offer quality and experienced care to our patients and families. Please let your hospice provider know what services are of interest to you and your family, and we will help coordinate it for you.
Thank you for taking the time to learn about hospice. We hope we have answered your questions and given you an idea of the care and services available to you and your family. What we talked about today are only some of the services. There is so much more that hospice has to offer, so please, feel free to call us at any time. We are here for you.